Ladies and gentlemen, mesdames et messieurs, sehr geehrte Damen und Herren, I'd like to extend a warm welcome to all of you. Thank you for joining us tonight on International Mountain Day. My name is Ursula Moser. I'm the director of the Canadian Studies Center of the University of Innsbruck, and I'm happy to guide you through this program together with my colleague Eva Müller. J'aimerais souhaiter la bienvenue à tous et à toutes et vous remercier de bien vouloir célébrer avec nous la Journée internationale de la montagne. C'est à l'occasion de cette journée qu'en 2015, le festival Lire, les montagnes a été organisé pour la première fois et depuis, c'est devenu une tradition. Meanwhile, the dynamic development of mountain studies, both in Canada and in Austria, has led to the creation of research centers and joint projects, and it is in keen anticipation of the Mountain Studies Conference we are co-hosting in 2022 that we have curated a night entirely dedicated to Canadian mountains as they speak to us through literature, music and photography. Depuis 2016, le développement dynamique des études de la montagne, que ce soit au Canada ou en Autriche, a eu pour conséquence la création de centres de recherche et de projets communs, et c'est justement dans la perspective de la conférence sur les études de la montagne que nous organiserons en 2022 que nous vous présentons ici une nuit entièrement consacrée aux montagnes canadiennes telles qu'elles nous parlent à travers la littérature, la musique et la photographie. Mais permettez-moi d'abord de vous présenter nos partenaires. Vous allez entendre les mots de bienvenue du directeur du Forum Culturel Autrichien auprès de l'ambassade de l'Autriche à Ottawa, Hannes Macher, et du directeur du Wirth Institute for Austrian and Central European Studies, Joseph Petrusch. The Wirth Institute and the Canadian Studies Center are proud to share 22 years of institutional partnership. There have been scientific cooperations and friendships have grown over the years. The Austrian Cultural Forum is our partner and sponsor, and we are extremely grateful for this precious support. Let me finally express my deep gratitude to our authors and composers, our photographer, our speakers and musicians, to all those whose biographies you can find on this page. Last but not least, a great big thank you to those whose names you will not find there: Richelle, Sylvia, Andrea and Alexander, and without whose creativity, patience and hard work this event would not have been possible. I'd now like to hand over to my colleague Eva Müller, a former Wirth Institute Fellow and postdoctoral researcher at the Department of American Studies of the University of Innsbruck. She is the co-organizer of the 2022 Mountain Studies Conference and has devoted all her energy to tonight's Reading Mountains Festival.
A warm welcome also from my end. I'm happy to start with the introduction of the program that we have put together in recognition of International Mountain Day. We are celebrating Mountain Day with mountain literature, mountain photography and mountain music. In terms of literature, we have selected for you 4 mountain readings. We have 2 Francophone ones, 1 Anglophone one, and another one by an Indigenous writer. And while you are free to pick and choose from the clips below and to decide yourselves just how you would like to wander through the literary landscape of the Canadian Rockies, Ursula and I recommend that you start with Medicine Walk by Richard Wagamese. He is an Ojibwe writer and his novel is profoundly moving. It is about a father and son struggle that leads deep into the backcountry of British Columbia. It is also a story that shows us that in order for mountain literature to be moving, it doesn't necessarily have to be about the reaching of summits. This reading is brought to you by Canadian actor Michael Peng. Our second recommendation is Gabrielle Roy's La montagne secrète, read in the French original by Doris Iwell. Again, it's a story about the preciousness of mountain space. It is about a painter who travels to the Ongaba region, discovers a mountain, falls in love with it, but fails to render it in paint. One could say, therefore, that Roy's text is one that reminds us and really invites us to imagine mountains otherwise. I'd now like to pass on to Ursula, who will introduce our second set of readings.
Well, I have two more highlights in store for you. First, there is Angie Abdou's Canterbury Trail, a dark comedy that showcases a cross-section of ski town society and reminds us of the multiple voices that shape Alpine reality. In a blend of modern humor and heartbreak, Angie chronicles a day in their lives as they attempt to conquer the mountain. The story is interpreted for you by Canadian actor Maya van Leuven. The final reading, performed in French by Doris Iwell, is a chapter from Denise Deshôtels' Se désire toujours, in which the object of desire is Mount Royal. Mount Royal is a large rock hill in Montreal, which gave the city its name. Denise Deshôtels' text represents a beautiful piece of prose poetry that testifies to the author's foray across Mont Royal and to her francophone childhood in the east of the city.
Let's return once again to our program. We're also bringing to you mountain music from Canada, and our selection is very much inspired by folk. Our first recommendation is a piece by Montreal-based composer Irad Ikmuratov called Tales from the Dinarites. It's performed on accordion, clarinet and violin by the Bridge Wallach Trio. The piece is inspired by the singing and dancing style of Central European Alpine communities, and we are very honored to be bringing to you the online premiere of this piece. Our second recommendation is very much based in the Canadian Rockies. It's 4 songs from Corey Brewster's Buffalo Street album, which is a celebration of the less told stories on the Canadian Rockies. And all of these songs go together extremely well with the photo carousel by Austrian photographer Peter Meltz. He has opened his rich and vast archive on the Canadian Rockies for us on this occasion. And in his collection, we found not just images of iconic Rocky Mountain scenes, such as Lake Louise, the Columbia Icefields, or Moline Lake, but also less popular and equally beautiful perspectives. Ursula and I invite you to enjoy all of this, either in parts or in one sitting, in bits and pieces. Feel free to return to it again, share our program, download it, share it with friends and family, and revisit our page. Because like the Canadian Rockies, our program will be there for you after today.
Well, goodbye from my side too, and thank you for your attention. Reading Mountains, and I quote the website of the festival, is a way to connect people that love books and mountains, despite them being physically apart. Lire les montagnes est un moyen de relier les passionnés des livres et de la montagne au-delà de l'éloignement physique. I hope we have succeeded in achieving this goal. Au revoir donc et merci.